Come here, Nara.
What?
Come here.
What? Oh,
Here.
hi, Sandra.
Hi. Hey, look. You know, we were talking about Maker March and how we make things in March. And there's so many things that I wanted to show you in the museum that have been made. For instance, these model houses. They were made out of like cardboard and mat board, and then with painting. There's little bits of wood in there too from the dollar store. It's really cool. So,
Wait, you got stuff from the dollar store and made that?
Shh. Yeah, we did.
That's so cool.
I
So you're
know.
telling me that you can make really, really, really professional miniatures and dioramas with stuff that you can just get at the dollar store or at home?
Yep. It's not entirely made from the dollar store, but yeah, we some of the stuff that we use, like all the little logs there, those are like little dowels from the dollar store.
That's really
It is,
cool.
and even if you take a look at the porch, you can see the dowels and the wood, and then just a little bit of paint, and it makes it look like it's actually the log house, a miniature log house. Isn't that cool?
That's fantastic. I think I kind of want to make one of those.
Yeah. Lara,
What?
come here. Come over here.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
I told you there was all kinds of things in the museum
Yeah.
that have been made by people?
Yeah.
Here's another display that we have. All of these baskets were made by indigenous people in BC. And so as part of Maker March, you could even make something like a basket.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What are they made out of?
They're made out of different types of plants. So some of them have spruce roots, some of them have choke cherry. So all the decorations on this one is from choke cherry bark. There's grasses involved. It's just all kinds of different things.
So if I wanted to weave something at home, what do you think I could use at home?
What do you think you could use at home?
Well, I think my friend has a pet guinea pig and they use straw.
Oh,
But I don't know if it would be long enough. So maybe some yarn? My mom knits a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, you could use yarn. You could go outside and look for really long grass. You have to make sure that it's not being used anywhere else, or it doesn't have any like stuff that's been put on it.
Okay.
Things that you don't want to bring into the house. Or you could grow it really long and then try it again next March. and save
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
If I was going to use grass that I foraged outside, should it be dry or should it be
Well,
fresh?
right now in March, you're not going to get any.
You're going to
fresh.
get dry stuff. That's
You're
true.
gonna get fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's good too because then it doesn't shrink down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've seen houses, we've seen baskets. I have a question.
Yes.
How did they make these? Is this something that you can make?
Well, I think you need to have some training in order to do
Okay.
this. So the people who make these kinds of sculptures, because they're kind of like sculptures, are called taxidermists.
Okay.
And what they do is they take the skins from the animal and they take all outside the bones and the flesh and all the organs from inside the animal, because if you left those in, it would start to rot.
That would be pretty
It
stinky.
would be very stinky. And then what they do is they put forms on the inside. And it used to be they used plaster in the old days, but nowadays they use things like styrofoam. And they shape it, and then they'll have stiff wire to have it so that it holds it in place. For instance, for things like the legs of the duck. And then it's stuffed and shaped. They have eyeballs that are either made out of glass or nowadays it would be out of plastic. And then they'll carefully sew it back together, the skin, and then we have our taxidermied animals.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff that has been made and are from makers here in the museum. I think that everyone that's watching this video should come check it out.
Of course, that would be lovely to have them come visit the museum. But I think they got good stuff at the library too.
That's true. We have lots of maker books at the library, and all you have to do if you can't find one is just ask one of our librarians or one of our staff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A rubber band powered car, so it is powered just with a rubber band. There is no engine, there is no battery, there is nothing else. It has all upcycled materials that you can find at your house. So let's look at what we're going to be using today. So we're going to be using 2 popsicle sticks. In your kit, you're going to have extras just in case you either want to make a second car or in case if any mistakes are made or if you want to use extra bits on your car. We're going to have 2 paper straws.
1, 2.
2 dowels. They're going to be a little bit longer than 4 inches. That's okay. You can leave them at the full length or, you can cut them down to size. And then we also have a couple wood pieces. So yours will have a 3rd extra piece in case you just need an extra one, or again, if you want to make an extra car. So these are the little wooden pieces. It's just like in Lego kits where they give you extra of the little bits. This is very true. They can get lost, and that's very understandable. We have lots of rubber bands, and this is because we want you to experiment. And Chandra's very excited.
Look at them all. There's so many and so many different colors.
And we also have a second push pin and bottle caps. So we're going to need 4 of these. It's best if they are the same size, but your kit may have 2 big and 2 small. And what you'll want to do is have one size be your front tires and one size be your back tires. Okay, so we'll also need from home.
Like this, right?
Some people may have very, very big bottle caps that size. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so from home, you're going to need a pair of scissors like before, either a hot glue gun or really good glue. You're going to need a pencil, and then you can also, again, use colored markers.
Yay!
And that's if you want to decorate your car. Okay, let's clear this area up and get started. And I forgot to mention on our last video, but if you have any questions, what you can do is you can actually just either leave a comment on the video, or I'll include my email, and you can email us any questions that you may have. Okay, so to get started, what we need to do is we need to take our push pin, and we need to take all of our bottle caps, and we need to find the very, very, very middle of our bottle cap. And I can actually show you, there's a secret on this one. It's got a little dot in the center. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is poke a hole very, very carefully with our push pins through the bottle cap. These ones are a little bit thicker plastic than our last ones. So again, you just have to twist, twist, push, push, twist, twist, push, push very carefully. Keep your finger out of the way.
I did it like this.
Oh, you did it like that? Well, that's a good idea.
I started it here, and then I poked through, and I really like this mat. And then once I got it in, I just poked it like that. Do we have to make it big and like?
We will be making them a little bit bigger, and we will be using glue like our last video. So right now we just need to wiggle it in. And then, so we'll do all 4 of our tires. Yeah. Alrighty. And if you want, you don't have to use the bottle caps that we've included in your kit. You could use something like, if you drink a lot of soda, you can use like a soda cap. If you use something that has like a big, big cap, maybe like laundry detergent, you could use that as well. It's whatever you have on hand that you can upcycle and reuse.
We have a lot of lids from milk bottles.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You could also use milk bottles. We use soy milk at my house. So we would have soy milk tub bottle or tub lids. Carton lids. That's the one, not tub. Okay, so from here what we need to do is carefully make the holes bigger. Because what we'll need to do, pardon my reach again, Chandra, is we have to be able to fit this dowel through the hole in the lid. So my hole's pretty small right now. So what I need to do is make it a lot bigger. If it's too big, that's okay. We're going to be gluing the wooden dowel into the tire. So there's one.
The pointy scissors.
The pointy scissor method is quite good. You may also have a screwdriver at home, and you may be able to use that. But just be careful if you're using the pointy scissor method. You want to be very careful not to hurt yourself. You want to be very careful not to poke yourself or push the end of the scissors through where your hand is.
Yeah, so you kind of want to hold it like this.
Yeah. So you see how I'm holding mine around right here?
Sorry, you have to do them all. You've got the 20 scissors.
That's okay.
Maybe if I find some.
What if I snap my fingers and they're all done?
Yay!
Movie magic. Okay. So just double check that they'll all fit into these dowels. Perfect. Okay,
Nice.
so they all fit. So what we'll do is put everything aside. And now we need to do some gluing and some cutting. So these are going to be the sides of your car. So the left and right sides in your car. So that's what the 2 popsicle sticks will be. The straws, thank you, Chandra, will be the front and back of your car. So you can make these as wide as you want. I'm going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4 squares on the cutting table.
Can you make them as wide as you want?
Yes, because these can be a little bit longer and stick out the ends of your bottle caps like this. So if they stick out the ends of your bottle caps for about 1 inch or more than 1 inch, so 3 to 5 centimeters, that's okay.
Oh.
One sticks out really far on mine, one doesn't. It's okay because as long as it's been glued, it's fine.
Okay, so it can be, but I guess I was curious because you can't make it like this. It has to be the same width as this one.
So I can show that part of it. Okay. So it has to be at least probably 2 to 3 centimeters shorter than this dowel is. So I'm going to do, as I said, 4 of the squares on this cutting mat. So I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to grab a pencil. I'm going to mark where I'm going to cut this. And then if I do... Yeah.
You could almost just cut it in half.
I could, but I want 2 colors on my car.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my mark here. So I make 1 snip. Oh,
That's
it
my
went
favorite
flying.
thing. Straws are cool that way.
2 snip. Okay.
Here it is. Here it is. All right. Here, I'll take the short guy.
Oh, you take the short guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Get it
we've got a
out.
little bit more cutting to do. So these are going to be the front and back. But in order for our rubber band car to work, we need to have a little piece glued onto one of our axles, so the piece that the tires are on. It has to be glued onto the wood. And you see there's a gap right here on my straws. So what I want to do is I need to mark a spot in the middle that I'm going to cut out. Thank you, Chandra.
You're welcome.
So what we'll do is we'll cut right there and then cut right there. So I'm going to have a couple pieces that are about the same and they're both 1 square. Okay. So what I have now is I have my pieces all ready to go and glue onto my car sides. So this is where your glue comes in. So I'm going to move these in a little bit. And we're going to fire up our glue gun. So we'll check back in like 2 minutes. So the dots are in the same spot.
Dot.
And remember, if you have a hot glue gun at home, make sure that you have someone that is either your spotter or your buddy because you don't want to do anything that could accidentally burn you or injure you. So what we'll do is move those guys back out. I don't have them quite at the edges of my 4 squares because I want a little bit of extra space for the straws. And so I just squish that down. I'm going to move it a little bit this way. If your straw is not perfectly across, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfectly across.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. If it's a little bit sideways, it's okay. If it's at a funky angle, that's okay. Mine is at, if you see, it goes in this way, and that's okay.
Okay.
Now I'm going to teach you a secret. In order to get these going across, because you have a break in the middle, what we'll do is put them on the dowel for now.
Ooh.
So we're gonna put our glue dots on.
Very secret.
It's very secret.
Very secret, very good technique.
And then I'll lift these up. And again, squish them down so there's a little bit of space on the sides.
Nice.
So on the sides, on the ends, that's where I mean. There's a little bit of space.
Mm-hmm.
Matches up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Squish it down.
Squish it down.
And then we can just take this out for now.
Look at that. Just like that.
Okay. So I'll show you from the flip side. So that's gonna be, so this is the top of your car. There's the bottom, the underside, undercarriage is what they call it sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
And now what we need to do is we need to keep using our glue gun. And this part, I will warn you, is going to be a little tricky. So if you want a parent to help you, absolutely please ask, because this is where you might accidentally burn yourself. So what we need to do is put our dowel in here. Or actually, the very first thing we need to do is mark the middle of our dowel. So our dowel is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So I want to mark it in the middle where the 3 squares are. If you don't have a mat like ours, you can use a ruler or you can guesstimate or estimate. So this is going to be where...
Use a ruler. Oh, you already marked it.
I've already marked it. So if you want to use a ruler, you can mark in the middle. So this is where, if you see on my other car, we need to glue this little piece onto the wooden dowel. So it is perpendicular, so it's across. You can use your super sticky glue like this. Just know that it will take a little while to dry, so you have to be very patient if you're not using a hot glue gun and you're using a liquid glue.
Okay.
So what we'll do first is I'm going to do a dot.
Can I put it on now?
You can put it on now. And so you want it to be about in the middle, because you want to have equal length on the top and bottom of your little piece.
Okay, I'm going to hold it there for a little bit.
It needs to be a little bit more straight. A little bit more straight.
Oh.
You can use the lines as a guide on our mat,
Gotcha.
or if you want to use a ruler, you can use those as guides.
Okay. I'm seeing it from this angle. It looks straight.
So now what we need to do, the glue has set a little bit, so I'm going to glue over top, and I'm going to basically make a leapfrog of glue.
Leapfrog.
Over top to hold it, because we're going to be attaching our rubber band onto this. It's going to be very, very tight, and we don't want this piece to fall off, because if it falls off, your car's not going to go anywhere. So from here, what we do is we turn it over once the glue has set.
Whoa.
And again,
I don't think it's set yet.
it's okay. It's mostly set.
All right.
And then again, we leapfrog.
Leapfrog would be a great name for a car.
A leapfrog? I think that would be a fantastic name for a car.
We'd have to make it green. Or maybe not.
Can we make a car jump though?
If you made a ramp.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we leapfrog across again. And then if you want to add extra little dots of glue here and there, as long as you can wrap your elastic band around it, it's okay.
But now we have to wait for it to set before we can test it.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it kind of like a barbecue skewer.
Barbecue. I like barbecue.
I like barbecue too.
It's almost barbecue season.
It is almost barbecue season. Do you have a barbecue, Chandra?
I don't have a barbecue.
I don't have one either. So we're gonna have to find somebody who has a barbecue and have a barbecue at their house. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Can I move this out of your way?
I actually do still need it, and I put
okay.
it on that side because I'm a left-handed person, so it helps me.
Okay.
Okay, so once this part has dried, we just let it spin, 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 spin. You can no longer remove this. So make sure you're ready to have this part stuck in the middle forever and ever and ever.
You know, and if you got tired of holding it...
You actually can remove it by moving it.
Oh.
Oops! Oh no. Uh-oh.
Okay, and if you got tired of holding it, Lara, I was thinking you could do this.
You could.
Here. There.
Ta-da! Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to get the wheels onto our dowels.
Oh, I guess you need the wheels.
I did need the wheels.
So we're in the right place.
What we need to do is feed our other dowel in through here. And so what I like to do is for my wheels is have it so all of the glue sticks on the inside where it's a little bit messy. So I'm going to put my wheels on this way.
I help you?
So with the inside of the cap facing out,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to leave a little bit of room,
Like half a centimeter?
about half a centimeter, for the dowels so they can move. Otherwise, your car wheels won't spin very well. They'll just be stuck, and it'll be hard for the car to move as easily.
When do you glue?
In just a moment.
Can I do it?
Do you want to glue?
I would
Okay.
like to glue.
So what I'll do is I'll hold this up for you, and
Okay.
you just glue around the dowel.
Okay.
Oops.
So, not leapfrogging, but like
Not
encircling.
leapfrogging. You want to go ring around the rosy.
Ring around the rosy. Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
And you only go on one side.
Do you mean like one side of the lid?
One side of the lid, yes. Okay, so there's one.
Woo!
And then we're going to
Straighten it out.
straighten it out a little bit. So you can straighten these out as they're drying.
Is that going to give us half a centimeter there?
So we can move it.
Look at that.
So we'll let that go in there. This is, again, going to be a little tricky because you want to make sure that you've got your half centimeter, but
Alright.
your wheel's in the right spot, so that
Okay.
should be good.
I like how you're using your fingers there finger and thumb there to hold it in place.
Mm-hmm. And just be careful if somebody is...
You want to angle it up so people can see?
Yep.
Okay.
Just be careful with your hot glue gun.
They
Because
are
it-
hot.
It may leak through this side, so you see
Mhm.
where my thumb was? You want to be careful if you're holding it. Oh, and I just stuck my finger in the glue on the other end. And
Do
this
you need
is
a
why
rescue?
I'm okay. This is why you want to be careful. As seen on TV, please don't do this at home with your glue gun. Okay.
That looks good. This is
So
cool.
our first two wheels are done. So this activity does take a little bit longer because you do have to wait for the glue to dry. And you may need to hold stuff still like this while it's drying so it'll actually sit the way you want it to.
Right. Sounds good.
So we do have to be a little bit more patient with these. Okay, so now what we want to do is glue our other wheels on. Chandra, did you want to glue these too?
I would love to.
Okay,
Thanks for asking.
so we'll
How
do
could
that.
you tell I was holding on to the glue gun?
Yeah. And if you don't perfectly encircle it and you just kind of glob it and move it around, that's okay too.
Is that good enough?
That's perfect.
Here's the lid.
So we want that to be in the middle. So we'll move it in a little bit. Oopsie.
All right. You want me to try and get it on there? I don't know. There we go.
There we go.
All right, here we go. Gluing the lid away. That's not really a song. I kind of made it up.
Alrighty, so
I just don't like the plastic on it.
we now have a car that has no motor. But fortunately, this car has no motor. So what we need to do is there are 3 places that you need to have a rubber band with your rubber band car.
3.
The very first one is on the straw at the front. The other 2, oh, one has fallen off. You need to have rubber bands on the tires, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So the thing about having lots of rubber bands is that we wanted to let you experiment to see what one works best. So I'm going to try with the purple. It looks big and strong.
Big and strong.
And so what we need to do is we need to tie it onto this.
How do
so
you
the
tie
way
it?
that
How do you do that?
How do we do this? So the way that we are going to tie this on is I'm just going to drape this rubber band across. Now what I need to do is I am going to take 2 fingers and put them here.
Uh-huh.
And I am inside the rubber band.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to take this end, so
Yes.
this is the right side of the rubber band. I am going to fold it underneath and hold it with my finger.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So one more time, I'm going to let my rubber band rest here.
It's resting.
I'm going to put 2 fingers in the rubber band on the left-hand side, but it's still resting across the straw.
Yeah.
I'm going to squish this under. So I'm going to take the right-hand side, fold it under the straw, back towards where my fingers are.
Yes.
And I'm going to lift my fingers up and I am going to pull.
Oh, you made a little loop.
Once I've done that, I'm going to move the two sides closer in. I'm going to pull it tighter.
Nice.
And I'm going to keep pulling it tighter until it's really snug.
It's not going to come off now.
Now it's not going to come off.
Not easily, anyways.
And I can pull this part right here. And if it's not in the center, mine was in the center. If yours isn't in the center, you can move it. Just slide it carefully until the center.
Look at that.
So we're going to turn our color over because, like I said, this is the top. And now we can try winding it to see how well it goes. So the way you want to wind your car, and this is why we spent so much time putting our leapfrog glue onto this. So this is nice and solid. It's not going to come off. What we need to do is hook our elastic on here, and then we spin our wheels.
I noticed that you're putting both ends of the little wood thing through the elastic.
Yes. So what we do... Oops.
Oh, look at that.
Well, I'll give you an example. So what we do is once it's hooked on there, you put the wooden piece into the center so it's wrapping around the top and bottom of where that little wooden piece is. Okay.
All right. Okay, and then you're going to let it go,
And then I'm going to let it go. And it should drive. So 3, 2, 1.
Woo!
Woohoo!
That's pretty cool.
Now, one thing that I noticed is when I was building this car, it had a really hard time going forward. So I experimented a bit, and I found that I had to give it something called traction. So my wheels were a little bit too small. They weren't getting traction. It couldn't go forward, especially on carpet. So by putting elastic bands, you can use whatever size fits best as long as it doesn't come off the wheels. So by putting elastic bands on the wheels on either side of the wooden peg, this will give the wheels traction so they can move forward.
Oh, so it's just like there's no friction, right?
There's no friction, yeah.
So it needs something to grab onto.
It's not able to grab onto the surface of the floor or the carpet or the counter, and it can't go. So we experimented. Chandra helped me. Sometimes it just lets go, and you lose your rubber band spin. So you spin. So we found that it actually will go a lot faster if we have the rubber band.
Go all the way to the end.
All the way to the end? Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Woo!
Whoa, that was way better.
Okay. What if we raced our cars? Let's race our cars!
Okay.
What do you guys think? Is it going to be the new one or the prototype? I think it's going to be the new one.
Why do you think it's going to be the new one?
It has bigger wheels.
Oh, all right. Your elastic is pretty sturdy too.
My elastic is a little bit more sturdy.
All right.
We'll see. Okay.
I have faith in
You have faith in
numero uno.
faithful. Okay.
Numero uno. Ready?
So let's go. 3, 2, 1, go!